Ah, it's that time of year again. The worst time of year. The worst movies of 2021. Except this time, there weren't as many, so I'm just gonna do top 5 worst movies of 2021. So let's begin. Halloween Kills. To be honest, it wasn't all that bad. It was just the ending that was the ruining factor for this movie. The ending sucked. It sucked worse than freaking Lucifer did. Like, you take this immortal. You take this guy who's just a guy, and now he's suddenly immortal with no explanation whatsoever. And he's literally taking every single weapon and just ends on a cliffhanger. It was bad. It was really, really bad and took me out of the film and was a ruining factor for me in this movie. Black Widow. I was very excited to see Black Widow, but sadly, this movie was very disappointing as I walked out of it. It doesn't even focus that much on the main character. It focuses on a bunch of side characters, just for a filler plot movie, just bridging a gap between Civil War and Infinity War. This movie just wasn't the Black Widow movie we deserved. It was just nothing but a mess, and Taskmaster was very disappointing, and I was very excited to see him, but again, very disappointing. And this movie just was not it for me, and had my doubts with Marvel films and Marvel TV shows this year. But luckily for No Way Home and Shang-Chi, they made it on the top 10 list. But this did not. Don't Look Up is a movie making fun of Republicans and conservatives, and is just nothing but bad jokes, and a film that ends so horribly that I was very disappointed. This movie did not go well with today's times. This movie should have came out 10 years later, because this movie is too relevant and too depressing, to be honest. It's supposed to be coming off as funny and making fun of conservatives, but to be honest, it's just making fun of itself at this point, because it is that bad. So don't look up this movie anytime soon. Eternals. This movie felt like a 3-hour movie, even though it was 2 hours and 35 minutes long. This movie was nothing but boredom and blandness and just everything that Justice League Snyder Cut wasn't, pretty much. This movie was an A-list superhero knockoff film of The Flash and all them guys teaming up, but those were interesting characters, and these are the most boringest characters I've ever seen in a superhero movie, because I did not give a crap about them, because they did not explain anything about them. Just, oh, hey, yeah, this is where they come from. Okay. But it's all the characters. They're just cardboard cutouts that you don't care about, and yeah, this movie was just a boredom to watch. The most boringest Marvel movie that I've ever seen.
Sweet Home Alone.
Home Sweet Home Alone. God, this was awful. This was the biggest piece of trash I've seen in a long time. This movie was awful, awful, and awful. Every Home Alone movie that comes out, I try to find something positive with it. I try to find some jokes, and I do laugh at quite a few of them from other Home Alone movies. But this one, I did not find anything to laugh at. It was very disappointing and just bland and just meh. That's all I have to say about Home Sweet Home Alone. Well, luckily, there weren't that many bad films this year. Just a few Marvel films, surprisingly, and a typical comedy that bombs, and of course, Home Alone. But yeah, There weren't that many. Thank God there were way more good than there were bad. But what were your top 5 worst films of 2021? Do you guys agree with this list? If not, put your guys' list in comments down below.